What if the bitter chill of winter could freeze not just our bodies, but also the darkest and most terrifying memories of our minds? In a remote meteorological station located in the frozen northern lands, a group of scientists made a discovery that would forever change our understanding of winter and memory. In December, as temperatures plummet, something strange begins to happen. It's not just the ice that covers the surface, but an unsettling presence that seems to emerge from nowhere. Memories, those shadows of the past we thought were buried, start to be unleashed as ice ghosts, capable of haunting those who dare to defy them. It was a dark and cold night, the wind howling like a hungry wolf, and the flickering lights of the meteorological station provided little comfort. The scientists, absorbed in their work, barely noticed the first sign that something was wrong. It was Dr. Robert Martinez who, while recording data, felt a chill that couldn't just be attributed to the cold. Something in the atmosphere had changed, as if an invisible presence was watching his every move. The usually reliable instruments began to fail inexplicably. Temperature readings became erratic, and a strange icy mist seemed to invade every corner of the station. As the night progressed, the scientists' experiences became more disturbing. Dr. Elena Fuentes started hearing whispers, indistinguishable words that echoed in her mind like reverberations from a forgotten past. When she tried to focus on her work, blurry images from her childhood appeared before her eyes, blending with reality. Soon, other team members experienced similar phenomena. John, the maintenance technician, was repairing a generator when an ethereal figure appeared before him, a frozen specter seemingly composed of his own repressed memories. The figure watched him with hollow eyes before dissolving into the icy fog. As the days passed, the situation worsened. The scientists, accustomed to facing extreme challenges, now battled against their own internal demons. The meteorological station had transformed into a nightmare realm, where every corner harbored the hidden terrors of its occupants. Robert, caught in a spiral of paranoia, discovered that the cold affected not just physical matter, but also the essence of memory. Memories, particularly those painful or traumatic, were released by the ice and took tangible form in the frozen environment. The ice ghosts were not mere illusions, but real manifestations that interacted with the living. In a desperate search for answers, Elena and Robert began investigating the origin of these phenomena. They discovered ancient records mentioning local legends about frozen spirits, entities trapped and eternalized that emerged during the coldest winters. According to the legends, these spirits were fragments of tormented souls, condemned to relive their worst memories for eternity. The connection between extreme cold and dark memories seemed to be related to an ancient curse that had been ignored for generations. By releasing these memories, the spirits sought either a way to find peace or to perpetuate their suffering in those who released them. The climax of this terrifying experience came one night when the temperature hit an all-time low. The station was engulfed in a snowstorm, and the scientists, exhausted and on the brink of despair, gathered in the main hall. The whispers intensified, and the ice figures appeared with increasing frequency and clarity. Robert, in an act of bravery or madness, decided to confront one of these specters. He ventured into the heart of the station, where the temperature was lowest, and there he came face to face with a figure he immediately recognized. It was himself, but a younger, tormented version, laden with memories he had tried to forget. The confrontation was brutal, both physically and emotionally. Robert relived every painful moment of his life, feeling the cold slice through his soul like icy knives. However, amidst the torment, he realized that the only way to defeat these ice ghosts was to accept his memories and find the strength to move forward. With great effort, he managed to integrate those fragments of his past, and the icy figure began to fade, taking the surrounding cold with it. Elena, watching from a distance, understood that the key to surviving this curse lay in facing and reconciling with one's own memories. With this newfound understanding, the scientists began working together, helping each other confront their fears and traumas. Gradually, the ice ghost disappeared, and the meteorological station regained a semblance of normalcy. However, the survivors knew they would never forget that experience, and that December's cold would always carry an echo of their worst nightmares. But the calm was only apparent. As the team tried to resume their routine, small signs that something was still not right continued to appear. Robert, every night, felt the same chill upon entering his room, as if someone else was there with him. Dr. Fuentes, while reviewing meteorological data, found entries she didn't remember making, as if an invisible hand was writing in the records. John began to notice his tools moving on their own, always finding them covered in a fine layer of frost. Aware that the mystery was not yet solved, the scientists decided to delve deeper into the curse's history. They consulted local legend experts and searched forgotten regional archives. They uncovered tales from ancient settlers who spoke of a particularly cruel winter in which many lost their lives, not just to the cold, but to a strange mental illness that drove them to madness. Those who survived spoke of the presence of frozen beings who came to collect the souls of the tormented. The connection to the current events became evident. The meteorological station had been built on cursed ground, where the spirits of those who died in that brutal winter still wandered, trapped in an eternal cycle of suffering. To break the cycle, the scientists would have to face not only their own fears, but also those of the trapped spirits. They organized a special vigil on the coldest night of the winter, hoping to contact these spirits and offer them peace. They lit candles and sat in a circle, holding hands, prepared to face whatever might appear. At first, the night was silent, with only the sound of the wind howling outside the station. But slowly, a figure began to materialize in the center of the circle, a figure made of ice and pain. Robert was the first to speak. He expressed his regret for not facing his demons sooner and promised to help the spirits find rest. The other scientists followed his example, each sharing their own stories of guilt and fear. As they spoke, the icy figures around them began to melt, the ice yielding to the warmth of their words and sincerity. The temperature in the room rose slightly, and for the first time in months, they felt a comforting warmth. At dawn, only puddles of water remained where the ice figures had been. The whispers had ceased, and the atmosphere in the station had cleared. The scientists, though exhausted, felt a sense of relief and release. They knew they had done the right thing by facing their fears and helping the trapped spirits. The meteorological station would return to its original function, but they would never forget what they had lived through. This story leaves us with a reflection on the power of our memories and how, even in the most remote and cold places, we cannot escape them. It reminds us that facing our internal fears is crucial to finding peace. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more tales filled with mystery and terror, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave your like, and comment on what you thought. See you in the next story, where we will explore the dark corners of the mind and the world around us. Until next time,